Welcome to the Not Just Filler podcast. We're in a fire station here in Elsie, Michigan, and this was my intent because I wanted to highlight first responders and say thank you, learn a little bit more about firefighting, and we've got Shane Grinnell here from Elsie. He's not just the village manager, but he's the assistant fire chief, and so Shane's got a really interesting job. You should follow him on Facebook. He's hilarious with just the changes in his life and the calls every day, and also this work he does as a first responder. So Shane, maybe tell them a little bit about the day in the life of an assistant fire chief, how many trucks you have here, who you serve in this community. Just give us sort of like an overview.
Sure. The one thing that attracted me to the fire service is there isn't a day that is the same. 1 minute I might be trying to figure out how we're gonna balance our budget for the village, and the next minute somebody's having a heart attack down the street, or we have a deer stuck in a storm drain. It varies from day to day, and that's what I like about it, is it's not the same thing every day.
Sure, and you get to actually save lives. How many trucks do you have, or how many vehicles do you have here in Elsie?
We have Elsie's pretty unique. We're very fortunate. We pretty much have a backup truck for every single truck. So we have 2 fire engines, we have 2 water haulers, we have a brush truck, we have 2 rescue trucks. So we have quite the fleet of vehicles that if we're on one call, we can take another call at the same time.
Yeah, that's a rarity.
Yeah.
And how many communities do you serve around here?
We serve, obviously, the village of Elsie. We serve Duplain Township, Chapin Township, and Fairfield Township, which geographically we're kind of in a corner of the county. So we cover not only those townships, but we also cover 3 different counties that we deal with.
Okay, and how many runs per year?
The last couple years we've been averaging about 250.
Oh.
So.
Okay, wow, that's a lot more than I expected. Give me a success story or something you've done where you were able to help people out in the last week or the last couple weeks. Anything that popped up?
Sure. It wasn't me personally, but it was our rescue crew. We had a car show going on here in town, and it was to benefit the food bank. And we had a female that was stung by a bee. She's never been allergic to bees in the past, and started to have a severe allergic reaction that was definitely life-threatening. Our rescue crew got on scene, and the good thing is we cover area in Saginaw County, so we have a special medicine that we can use to reverse the effects of the bee, and they used that on the patient. By the time the ambulance arrived on scene, the patient was back up talking and everything, where if they wouldn't have had that medicine, it probably would have been a different outcome. So, and that's actually changing some stuff for Clinton County. Eaton and Ingham counties now fires the medication. We're going to try to get fire departments to start carrying that medication down south of us.
So I guess maybe that's not what people expect. People think of you in a ladder, shooting water down onto a fire.
Sure.
So you do that, but you also do medical runs too.
Yeah. There's a lot of fire departments in Michigan. Over time, everything's been, combined. It's not just fire anymore, and EMS and police. Everybody's thinking outside the box. So the good thing is, in our community, we started our rescue service a couple years ago, and so we have a combination of firefighters, EMTs that serve Elsie.
Yeah. Okay. I have to say about Shane, since the day I got elected, Shane's been sending me ideas, issues I need to pay attention to. I mean, it's really the dream for a legislator, because I can't know everything of what's going on, and so to have people on the ground who say, hey, this is happening, or we need this fire truck, or we're working on it, or this is popping up into state funding and it's going to be an issue. I mean, that's just really helpful to me.
Sure.
To have you on the ground floor here, because my background is not in firefighting in any way, so just to have an expert. Tell me some challenges. I mean, I would say the number one challenge I hear is getting people involved in firefighting, because you're right, it's not or it can be a full-time job, but sometimes it's a part-time job.
Sure.
So maybe talk to us about some challenges.
Yeah, one of our biggest challenges, and it's nationwide, is to recruit people, to have them go through a fire academy for 6 months out of the year. They have to be away from their family at night and go through the fire academy, get certified. The one thing we always tell people is fire doesn't realize that it's a volunteer putting it out or a full-time person. So
Sure.
Our standards for our volunteer or part-time departments are the same as full-time, where we require our guys to go through a fire academy. They can take their certificate and work for Elsie Fire, or they can take their certificate and work for Detroit Fire. So it's a benefit. One of the things that we do that's kind of unique with Elsie is we have a cadet program. So we start out recruiting kids at 16 years old out to the high school. And then they can come to our meetings and come to some of our calls. We try to give them that bug of, hey, I helped save a life, or I helped, put a fire out.
Sure.
So then when they graduate high school, they're ready to go through fire school, and they already have a knowledge of the fire service before they even get into it. So they get to kind of try before you buy into the program. So
Yeah, which is genius, because if somebody comes out and they're 16 and they see the good work that you do,
mm-hmm.
or they watch you assist somebody in need, maybe they get that bug.
Absolutely.
Maybe they get that feel, and then we're cutting into this increasing shortage across the country.
Yeah, and I don't know how many times you hear people, I've had high school buddies that, they went to college and they went to 4-year college and get into the workforce that they were going to go to and start working, and went, man, this isn't for me. So this is a chance to have those kids try it before they put a lot of time and effort into it, and if they like it, then we end up with some firemen, and it's a win-win.
Yeah. It seems to me from the moment that I got to know you, there's a ton of community support in Elsie and the surrounding areas for the fire. Can you just talk to us a little bit about that?
Yeah, like I said, I've been doing fire service for 21 years now. I've been on another department prior to this, and when I came to Elsie, the community support was just unbelievable. And I think that the fire department gets the community support, and then the fire department supports the community. Where I think the reason we have the support is because we'll go above and beyond, because it's our community. We're not doing this for a paycheck. We're doing it to help somebody.
Sure.
A few weeks ago we had a call to a gas leak in somebody's basement, which is a typical fire call. We get there and it's actually a fuel oil tank that's leaking fuel, and the guy was trying to fix it at midnight, elderly guy, and he had fuel leaking in his basement, didn't know what to do. Is that really a fire emergency? No, not really. Maybe in the bigger cities they would have said, hey, it's not our problem, and left. But we stayed there for probably 3.5 hours, and helped siphon fuel out of that tank, putting them into other drums and taking them out for the guy. So was it a fire issue? No, but it was a community thing. And we think of that as, now we have a supporter that if we need help, if we need a piece of equipment, we need donations, they'll be the first ones in line going, hey, we'd like to help you out.
Yeah, there's some value.
Yes.
Yeah, they brought value to me as a community member, so I'm going to go out of my way to take care of them.
Correct. Yep.
That's such a good thing.
Yep.
Tell me about the training that you went through. So there's an academy.
Yes.
I assume there's continued training of sorts, learning the technology, which I'm sure has changed in the 21 years.
Yes. The academy I went through was probably half the amount of training what's required now. Our guys go through the fire academy. It's 3 nights a week for 4 hours at a time for about 6 months. So it's a huge commitment, huge time commitment for them, and it's not only a commitment for them, but it's a commitment to their family. And that's one thing that our department, in fact, on our patch it says, "Our family serving your family." We're all about family in this department, because we know we're going to be taking your husband or your wife away from their family to operate a fire station. So We have family night where we have your spouses and kids can come up. In fact, we have toys in our meeting room for when you have no sitter. You know, you can bring your kid to the fire meeting and they can play their thing, and the guys get to do their training. So it's all about family.
Yeah, I did visit with you guys a couple of years ago, and you're right. Everybody knew each other. Yep. Everybody's kind of, talking, joking amongst themselves. I mean, it was a real esprit de corps.
Yep.
All right, guys. Well, Shane Grinnell just does great work for the community, and I'm so thankful for him and the first responders in this area and across the state, because a safe community is a better community, and it makes Elsie and the surrounding areas a place you want to live. Mm-hmm. And so I know where I live in DeWitt, we absolutely support our firefighters and our first responders. So any questions about firefighting or what you can do to support your community's firefighter, put them below in the comments. And I'm just really thankful, Shane, for what you do. And thanks for watching the Not Just Filler podcast. I hope you learned something about first responders and firefighters and their very nuanced, varied job. And thanks for watching. All right.